already. It was Yo-ish and Kevin. This is called Chicken's Crossing. Do you know what it's in reference to? Do you know that in English? Exactly. There's possibly, no, it must be the most famous joke in the English language. Why did the chicken cross the road? It's so famous that it's everywhere. Here's the entry to in Wikipedia. Wikipedia says that its first known appearance in print occurred in 1847 in a New York monthly magazine called the Knickerbocker. And it's so famous that here's a visual reference to it on the front cover of a book called Laugh Lab. The project was a quest to find the world's funniest joke. It almost worked, but they excluded rude jokes, so it was never going to work. Now, what I'm going to show you here, oh, by the way, just because this is the most famous joke, don't think for 1 second it's also the most funny. Apologies in advance. What we're doing here, I've got a lesson plan on my website, Chicken Crossing. The idea of this lesson plan is to give all students a piece of paper in class, ask them to draw a picture of a chicken crossing the road. They then have to give their chickens a name, and then think of a reason why their chicken is crossing. So here's some chickens for you. This is Ernest, you can see. And Ernest is crossing the road because he doesn't want to end up in a plate of cirke paprikash. And that was the reason Ernest was crossing the road. There's a lot of different reasons we come. This is cockle. Actually, it's funny because the chickens always choose to cross at zebra crossings. You'd think they might have a tendency to go for pelicans, but they always choose zebras or zebras. Cockle crossing the road to pick up his chicks from school, apparently. Here's Fluffy. I usually associate Fluffy with cats, and cats don't we? Fluffy, I believe, is crossing the road to go to his karate class. All of these drawings come from teenagers or adults. None of them come from young learners, in fact. This is Fokchi, I think, and he's crossing the road to rescue his mother from Colonel Sanders. You know who Colonel Sanders is, don't you? Colonel Sanders, the man behind Say Boo. The next one is called Lily, and Lily's running away from Rocky. Do you remember that scene in the film? These are all the reasons for the chickens crossing the road, which came from my students, or maybe a couple of them from conference participants. I can't even remember. We've got some mothers. We've got some chickens. Peppy. Actually, I think Peppy was auditioning for a part in a Picasso. And that's why he was crossing the road. Some other chickens were crossing the road because the worms are juicier on the other side. That was fun. And we also had Bertha. Now Bertha's got a bit of a... I mean, when I think about chicken crossing the road, I think about crossing the road in the street. But of course, we're all different, aren't we? This is a dramatic reminder. Some chickens might be crossing the motorway. And that's foolish. We have to point that out to any younger learners amongst us. Do you know the expression, curiosity killed the cat? Yes. She needed a good view of the underside of the car for whatever her job was, I suppose. Benedict is crossing the road, not only because he's free range and because he goes wherever he likes, but because he's going to the plastic surgeon. He's tired of looking like a turkey. That's not actually what the student wrote, but... Now this joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Just show me your hands if you know the answer. I'm interested. Oh, that's fascinating, isn't it? I'm really happy about that. It's so famous. Do you know what a meme is? A meme is a word that's come into usage through the internet. The silly things that we do. Dramatic chipmunk, dramatic prairie dog, sneezing pandas. I don't know if you're with me or not here. These are memes. The younger people are nodding their heads. Now, the chicken crossing the road is an example of a meme, and it gives life to itself. It generates its own culture. Lots of references to it. For example, other jokes that spin off it, like, why did the chewing gum cross the road? It was stuck to the chicken. Why did the duck cross the road? Because it was the chicken's day off. Also, we've got a lot of fantastic philosophers in time have attempted to answer the question. You know who this man is, don't you? This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is George Lukács. And he said, I'm quoting, why did the chicken cross the road? His answer was, showing an acute class awareness, and after losing his chains, the chicken crossed the road in order to overcome imperialist oppression of the two-sided nature of the road and abolish the tyrannical rule of consumerism, represented by the branch of Kentucky Fried Chicken on the other side. It was Martin Luther King also. He said, I have a dream. I have a dream that one day a chicken will be able to cross the road without having its motives questioned. There's so much of the chicken crossing the road on the internet. That last slide was a demonstration of what you find using Google Images if you type chicken cross the road into it. Now, give me a drum roll. Drum roll time. Why did the chicken cross the road? Shouts out if you know.
To get to the other side.
To get to the other side. We're very, very sorry. So thank you very much for listening to my chickens. Also, just to take the opportunity to say a really, really big thank you to IATEFL for such a great weekend, for seamless organisation that has just flowed so beautifully. Thank you for inviting me and everybody else, and you're all over the place, so thank you very much. Bye-bye.